Hey, grace and peace, everyone. This is Charles here with another Midweek Recharge. And this week, I want to talk about contracts. Well, covenants, which is a nice Bible word, nice Bible term for covenants. And you may or may not be familiar with the idea that there was kind of an original covenant, a covenant that was based on some very specific terms and agreements. It was very transactional between God and Israel. And Moses was given the law. Many folks are familiar with the Ten Commandments. The Ten Commandments was what would be considered the kind of the civil portion or a piece of the civil portion of law. Things like don't steal and don't be desirous of what your neighbor has, your neighbor's possessions, such that it leads you to want to possess those things for yourself, right? So folks are familiar, maybe somewhat familiar with that concept. And that covenant was almost a quid pro quo, where God was saying to Moses and to the Israelites, "You do these things, and I'll be your God. I'll protect you, and I'll cover you, and people will know you throughout the world as God's chosen people. But if you don't do those things, then I won't do my part." And so that covenant is eventually dissolved, not because God stopped being God, but because Israel many times voided the terms of the covenant by worshiping idols and giving their loyalty to other nations and other cultures and other deities. And so God, in a generous, loving manner, has one of two choices: to wipe out humanity and start all the way over, or to devise a different covenant. And so Jesus comes to give us a better covenant, a covenant of grace and peace that's not dependent on what you and I do or don't do. It's all dependent on God's infinite love and capacity. And so my challenge to you this week is, in the middle of really difficult circumstances, to remind yourself and to live as if you are part of a covenant of peace. Because every time you come back to God, He's ready to give you more peace. Let that be your recharge.